In this video, we want to look at another example of quadratic functions. So let's look at f of x equals negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 6. So for this quadratic function, to find the vertex, we need to use our vertex equation for our x value. X equals negative b divided by 2a. So for this quadratic function, what we want to do is we want to identify our b. That's going to be the 8. So I'm going to end up with a negative 8 on top. And we also need to identify our a. In this case, that's going to be the negative 2 in front of the x squared. So I'm going to have 2 times negative 2. So now, 2 times negative 2 is going to give me negative 4 at the bottom. And when I divide, I get x equals 2. So this is going to be my axis of symmetry. Now to find the y value, what we need to do is we need to substitute the x value that we just found back into the function. So to do that, I need to find f of 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace every variable x with a 2. And when I do that, I evaluate what I'm left with to find the y value. So 2 squared is 4, and 4 times negative 2 is going to give me negative 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So now I know that 16 minus 6 is going to give me 10, and then if I subtract 8 from that, I'm going to get 2. So that means my x value is 2, and my y value is also going to be 2. So now that we've found the vertex and the axis of symmetry, we need to find the zeros. And we can do that by setting the entire function equal to 0. So I'm going to take negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 6, and I'm going to set it equal to 0. Now for this function, we can solve this by taking out a negative 2 from each term. And when we divide everything by negative 2, we're left with x squared minus 4x plus 3. So once I do that, I can factor down what I'm left with into x minus 1 and x minus 3. Both of those numbers multiply to positive 3, but add up to negative 4. So now I can set all my factors equal to 0. So I get x minus 1 equals 0, and I get x minus 3 equals 0. And if I solve these, I get x equals 1. That's going to be my first 0. And I also get x equals 3. And that's going to be my second 0. Zeros are also called roots, and sometimes you'll hear them called x-intercepts. So if you ever hear 0, root, or x-intercept, they're all talking about the same thing. Now, because I have a negative 2 as a leading coefficient, that means that this parabola is going to open downwards. Open downwards. So your parabola is going to open downwards like this.